Okay, so I've done a video on the new game modes that are coming to the Black Ops Cold War beta, but let's look at the article that Treyarch have written about the changes in the actual game itself. I guess the engine from alpha to beta. So this is as we're going from one build of the game to probably with the beta. This should be very close to the final build that we get, because there's only a month to go till this game comes out for real. So let's see what they've got to say. In addition to the new maps, modes and features we're bringing to the Black Ops Cold War beta, including VIP Escort Combined Arms Assault, Fireteam Dirty Bomb, the Field of View slider on consoles and more, we're also delivering plenty of gameplay enhancements based on player feedback and internal data from the alpha. From updates to core movement and visual fidelity improvements to weapon tuning and spawn adjustments, there's a lot that's changed over the past few weeks. We'd be remiss if we didn't thank you for all your feedback along the way. It has been invaluable to our team and will ultimately help us to continue to improve upon the overall gameplay experience as we approach the November the 13th launch. What they normally say is your passionate feedback, which means that there's a lot of negative feedback. Read on for the high-level list of updates since the alpha. Movement. We've made a large tuning pass on core movement with the goal of improving the responsiveness of player controls and actions. We've identified several key areas in our core movement set for improvements, largely focused on sprinting and sliding. Core movement. Integrated, updated locomotion animations and systems for walking, jogging and sprinting. Slightly increased acceleration when moving from a standstill. Sprinting. Reduced or removed several sprint penalties that could leave the player in a state of reduced sprint speed. This results in more opportunities to use the sprint takeoff feature for a quick burst of speed when initiating a sprint. Increase the time it takes to ramp down from maximum to minimum sprint speed for a smoother change of speed. This also slightly increases the time at which a player sprints at a faster pace. Slightly adjusted camera bob during sprint to better align with updated movement animations. Disabled field of view increase when sprinting. This should provide a smoother in-game view and prevent a floating camera feeling when sprinting. Sliding. Slightly reduce slide speed. Increase the minimum amount of time a player must sprint before sliding to better align with time to reach maximum sprint speed. This means a player cannot immediately trigger a slide from a near standstill. Addressed an issue that allowed players to cancel a slide without the appropriate slowdown. We will continue to monitor and investigate any slide cancel exploits. Yeah, that's where people slide cancel across the map, don't they? Weapons and Gunsmith. We refined our weapons deck and animations since the alpha, completed numerous tuning and tweaking passes on our weapons and added more details to attachment statistics in Gunsmith. We've also made several positive changes to how sniper rifles work based on alpha data and feedback. So the guns look crap and we've made them look better. And quickscoping was too easy and we've made it harder. Sniper rifles are a key component of Black Ops combat and in some ways more relevant than ever in Black Ops Cold War. With support for large maps and game modes as well as cross-platform play, sniping can be an effective and often extremely powerful playstyle. To balance out cross-play sniping, we've brought back aim assist for snipers on controllers. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Something we haven't had in Black Ops multiplayer since Black Ops 2. With the horrendous quick scoping you got in Black Ops 2. Oh no, because Black Ops 3 was alright. There wasn't that much quick scoping in it. Black Ops 4, I didn't play it that much, but oh dear. The data from our alpha proved to us that even without crossplay or larger maps, sniper rifles were still dominant on smaller maps. As a result, we've made some adjustments to bring them back into balance for the beta. Look forward to seeing what the community can do with these finely tuned precision weapons. Here's the list of changes to weapons and Gunsmith statistics. Gunsmith added a more detailed breakdown of statistics for each attachment, explaining in detail how each attachment influences its weapon stats. Move the Gunsmith UI button closer to the weapon for easy access. So this should, it's good. The more information you have, the better choices you could make. Recoil and firing animations. Added new weapon recoil systems and firing animations with a comprehensive tuning pass for a revamped weapon firing feel on every weapon for both hipfire and ADS. If you didn't play the alpha or haven't watched any gameplay, people just felt the guns just didn't look as good as Modern Warfare. Reworked and rebalanced all recoil patterns, impacting weapon balance and mastery across the board. Full touch-up pass on animations across all weapons based on feedback. See, it's interesting when they say that, when they say they've touched up the animations on weapons based on feedback. What they said at the time though was that the alpha was an old build of the game, and to expect different stuff. So I wouldn't have thought they'd change the animations based on feedback. It should have been based on the fact that it was an old build of the game, and the newer build of the game has the better animations in. Aim down sights. Added new ADS weapon rendering technology for more realistic ADS perspective. Smoothed out all ADS in and out transitions. General weapon tuning. Made tuning changes to alpha weapons that overperformed or underperformed, including increases to the AK-74U recoil and ADS time, increasing LMG ammo capacity, and more. Attachment tuning. Full attachment balance pass to ensure all attachments stay relevant and balanced. Sniper rifles. Added aim assist on snipers for controller users for cross-platform balancing. Several precision aiming adjustments to help the sniping experience feel more fluid. Sniper glint now displays more often and more reliably to help players understand when they are in danger. Adjusted the ADS time on sniper rifles, hopefully made it much longer. Sniper rifles now require higher hits on the body for one-hit eliminations, for example, upper chest instead of stomach or upper arm instead of lower arm. Frag grenades. Reduce the fuse time on the frag grenade for beta. Throw speed adjustments are targeted for launch. Yeah, frags took forever to explode in the alpha. Visuals. We've made several graphical improvements throughout the beta, and we've responded to player feedback about low visibility in some areas of the Miami map. With our latest changes, players should be able to spot enemies more clearly on Miami. Graphics. Improved graphical fidelity and performance across the board. Lighting and visibility. Adjusted lighting and character visibility through the Miami map for better overall visibility based on player feedback. Audio. The audio team has made several crucial improvements to weapon sounds between the alpha and beta, and continues to work on further enhancements for launch. Footstep audio design and its interaction with the ninja perk has also been tuned significantly for players who like to keep it stealthy. I have to admit, the footstep sounds, I was very impressed with the alpha, very good, better than Modern Warfare. Weapon audio. Added bass and punch to all weapon sounds by adjusting master, EQ and compression output. Added 3 presets to audio settings. Tryout mix, bass boost and high boost to suit player preferences. Redesigned several weapon audio layers. Corrected audio decay playback and added blending for interior and exterior sounds. Polished the reverb audio across all maps. Footsteps. Crouch walking now functions as a near silent movement option available to all players with or without the ninja perk. ADS crouch walking now makes the player footsteps audio even quieter. Enemies should not hear the player when crouching outside of extreme close quarters. Yeah, but you're going really slow then. Really slow. While Ninja is equipped, core movements such as sprinting, jogging and walking are now greatly reduced in volume and distance by roughly 50% compared to the alpha. That is a big difference. ADS walking will also provide a significant stealth advantage when using Ninja. Hitmarker audio. Added new sounds for fatal and non-fatal hitmarkers. Scorestreak audio. General polished audio for several score streaks. Spy plane audio. Reduce the volume of the spy plane's locational pings. For the first time in the Black Ops game, spy plane pings are directional and locational based on where an enemy is when they are swept by the radar, allowing for pinpoint accuracy. As this is a new mechanic, we will continue to monitor and adjust as necessary. Bullet crack. Tweaked the bullet crack system to prevent players from hearing sounds when they shouldn't, and vice versa. Now this is an interesting one. Scorestreak System. We've increased the score reward for a number of objective-based game modes and objective score events to further incentive playing the objective in the beta. These changes are in service of rewarding players of all play styles fairly, whether it's the Slayers out in the dunes of Satellite or the objective players holding down hardpoint in the jungles of Cartel. Our philosophy acknowledges that players put themselves at considerable risk for playing the objective, and we don't want the risk of losing a streak to disincentivize objective play. At the same time, we want to avoid allowing players to game the system by waiting for streaks to build up before capturing objectives, which is why objectives don't count in streak multipliers. As we continue to gather data and feedback on the new Scorestreak system and kill streaking mechanics, the changes below reward objective players and require slayers to stick to their role more carefully to ramp their score up. We recognise that there are hybrid styles that achieve both, and this system rewards players for the playstyle they gravitate to the most. See, I worry with a lot of this stuff, they're making it too complicated. And this is because Black Ops Cold War has a support-based score streak system. So if you die, you still keep earning points towards your score streaks, which you used to have to in some games you would have the ability to, it would be a perk, wouldn't it, normally, that you would equip, that would mean that your kill streak or your score streak would roll over if you died, but it would cost you more kills or more points to actually get there, and you'd only normally be able to call in one as well. So let's have a look. Scorestreak system. Objective score rewards have been increased in domination, kill confirmed, and hardpoint. These changes will reward any objective player and do not require or reward objective streaking. Adjusted score streak rewards to reduce score streak spam and make score streaks more rewarding. Players will need to go on higher streaks in a single life to earn top tier score streaks. Right, so the idea is you then as you stay alive, you get a better multiplier towards your score streak. The curve has been flattened out on the low end and ramps up quickly as the player earns higher skill streak numbers. Reduce score streak cooldowns to offset these changes and allow players to cycle through score streaks more often. Yeah, I mean, just go back to the old system and don't make it a support score streak. Just have it so if you die, you've got to start again. Spawns. We heard from several players, really. Several players. Wow. Several players. Because several players is less than 7. During the alpha, they felt that it took too long to get into the action in 6v6 game modes in Miami. To address this, the design team has adjusted the spawns and spawn logic across multiple modes to ensure a faster time to engagement on those maps. Well, those several players will be happy then, won't they? Miami, full spawn pass for team deathmatch and kill confirmed modes on Miami, with the goal of reducing the time to engagement, increasing the overall pace of 6v6 game modes. Spawns at the end of the map have been pulled in closer, added new spawns to get players back into the fight faster, adjusted the spawn logic to reduce the distance at which an enemy player will influence the enemy team's spawn points. Moscow added spawns across several modes to allow for more safe spawns in relation to enemy player locations at the time of a respawn. Armada reduce how often players can be spawned at the rear of the home ship to reduce travel time. But yeah, I noticed that when you're playing on that sea map. It did seem you'd always be spawning on the back of your ship and you'd have to run for ages. Or jump on a boat or use the zip lines. Crossroads adjusted combined arms domination spawn logic and spawn placement to keep players spawning closer to their owned objectives, reducing time to engagement and getting players back into the action faster. Satellite adjusted spawn logic to allow for slightly easier spawn flipping in certain modes instead of a team becoming spawn trapped for an extended period. Vehicles. Vehicle versus infantry combat is a dynamic we work hard to balance out for both parties. We've made substantial adjustments for this combat loop in the beta and will continue to dial this in for launch. Vehicle damage tuning. Rework the bullet damage mitigation model for tanks to provide a more consistent experience across weapon classes. This fixes issues where some guns seemingly inordinately more powerful against vehicles than others. Adjusted the cavalry lancer weapon attachment to be more consistent across weapons, especially on LMGs. We will continue to keep a close eye on this, tuning this for launch. Tanks. Reduce tank health to make launchers and C4 more effective counters. Great. Reduce the deadliness of the tank shell splash damage. Okay, made tanks less fun. Bug fixes. Here we go. Character models. Addressed an issue where players disconnected from the match during the loading sequence could result in players' characters displaying an unnatural pose at the start of the game. AK-74 used reload animations will no longer appear to skip. The remote control cold in the fun police to address an issue that allowed players to ride around on a teammate's RCXD. Sorry. Oh dear. Yeah. Gunboat and Wake Runner. Fixed an issue where Wake Runners being deployed from a ship's davits could cause the gunboat to be flung into the ocean. Motion Blur addressed an issue where the motion blur settings would not properly retain its settings. Moscow Window addressed an issue where a player could become stuck when sliding through a window in Moscow. Mantling tuned mantling at tall heights to ensure they are performed at a more natural speed. Where necessary, map designs will be updated to restrict areas where mantling is not intended. Moving before match start addressed an issue that could allow players to begin moving before the match countdown timer had ended. I'd seen that a couple of times. Invisible weapons addressed an issue that could display an invisible third weapon when exiting a vehicle, preventing the player from being able to use any of their weapons. After action report addressed an issue that would show incorrect scoreboards in the after action report. Stability addressed various stability issues encountered in alpha. Yeah, there were quite a few blue screens, wasn't there? Additional updates and features. Again, we've talked about these in the other video we did, but there's the ping system. So you can now ping objectives, which using D-pad left on controllers or Z on keyboard. And there's alternate button layouts as well. Field of view slider on all platforms. It's quite amazing, that, isn't it? HUD visual toggle, so you can customize your HUD. Nameplates adjusted the rule set around when friendly player names would show to reduce instances where friendly nameplates would appear over enemies in certain situations. Yes, that happened to me many times. Dead zones expanded the options to reduce minimum stick input threshold to 0. Setting to 0 is only recommended for advanced users depending on controller hardware. Setting this to low value can cause stick drift, which can engage the stick even when no input is given. Also because sticks on Xbox and PlayStation controls are notorious for getting stick drift. Kill confirmed score limit. Our data from alpha showed the kill confirmed was ending on time limit too frequently in the alpha, so we've reduced the score limit to 65 for the beta. Start spawn soft freeze. We've enabled the ability for players to rotate their operator, swap weapons, ADS, and change his stance during the pre-round timer. Excellent. Progression will be introducing a deep progression system synchronized across multiplayer, zombies, and Warzone that deserves its own time in the spotlight. We'll have more details in a dedicated blog as we get close to launch. While players won't see this full progression system in the beta, you'll be able to rank up to certain levels to unlock additional content throughout both beta weekends. That's it for now. We'll see you online in the beta, and we're looking forward to collecting more community feedback, passionate community feedback, to help us make Black Ops Cold War even better. You can pre-order here to get in the beta as early as possible, and players with digital pre-orders can preload the beta on PlayStation 4 right now. Try it. So there we go. I guess you'd call that the patch notes for the beta, the journey from alpha to beta. It's going to be exciting, isn't it? Let's see how much better this is. Anyway, what do you think? Put your questions and comments down below, and I'll see you again soon.